Uganda and Kenya. Two neighboring countries, shared borders, shared history, shared ambitions. Yet in 2025, they stand at very different crossroads. One is often seen as East Africa's economic engine, home to financial powerhouses and global investors. The other is described as Africa's quiet riser, rich in natural resources and future potential. But here's the real question. Which country is truly ahead, and which one is better positioned for the future? In this video, we go beyond headlines and stereotypes. We'll compare Uganda and Kenya across 10 critical dimensions: economy, infrastructure, politics, education, healthcare, tourism. Some of the results may surprise you. Because while Kenya looks stronger today, Uganda may be playing a longer, more strategic game. 1. Economic power, GDP and wealth. When it comes to raw economic power, Kenya clearly leads Uganda in 2025. Kenya's GDP stands at approximately $115 billion, more than double Uganda's $48 billion. This gap reflects decades of different economic strategies. Kenya invested early in services, finance, manufacturing, and regional trade, while Uganda remained more agriculture-focused. The difference becomes even clearer at the individual level. Kenya's GDP per capita is around $2,300 compared to $1,200 in Uganda. For the average citizen, this translates into higher purchasing power, better access to services, and more formal employment opportunities in Kenya. Kenya also attracts more foreign direct investment. Multinational companies view Nairobi as the financial capital of East Africa, bringing in over $1.3 billion in FDI annually, compared to Uganda's $800 million. However, Uganda's story is far from weak. Its recent oil discoveries, combined with lower labor and operating costs, position it as a future energy player. Economically, Kenya dominates today, but Uganda is clearly betting on tomorrow. 2. Economic structure and diversification. Beyond size, how an economy is structured matters even more. Kenya's economy is highly diversified. Services account for more than 50% of GDP, driven by banking, telecommunications, tourism, logistics, and technology. Manufacturing and value-added agriculture further strengthen its resilience against shocks. Uganda, on the other hand, remains more agriculture-dependent, with farming contributing around 24% of GDP. Coffee, tea, fish, and subsistence farming dominate rural livelihoods. This makes Uganda more vulnerable to climate change, price fluctuations, and productivity limits. But diversification is slowly happening. Uganda is investing heavily in oil, energy, and infrastructure, aiming to reduce its reliance on agriculture. Hydropower dams, oil pipelines, and industrial parks are designed to shift the economic balance over the next decade. In short, Kenya's economy is complex and mature, while Uganda's is simpler but transforming. One offers stability, the other offers growth potential. 3. Cost of living and business environment. Living and doing business in Kenya is more expensive, but often more efficient. Kenya consistently ranks higher in ease of doing business, supported by stronger institutions, clearer regulations, and a mature banking system. Nairobi offers access to capital, regional markets, and skilled labor, making it attractive to large companies and startups alike. Uganda, however, has a major advantage: lower costs. Rent, wages, utilities, and operational expenses are significantly cheaper. For small businesses and early-stage entrepreneurs, this creates a friendlier entry point. While Kenya ranks much higher globally in business climate, Uganda appeals to investors willing to accept higher risk in exchange for higher long-term returns, especially in energy, agribusiness, and manufacturing. Kenya is ideal for scaling fast. Uganda is ideal for starting lean. Army and military power. Uganda vs Kenya. When it comes to military strength, Uganda and Kenya follow very different doctrines, yet both rank among the most influential armed forces in East Africa. With approximately 45,000 to 50,000 active personnel, the UPDF has extensive combat experience from operations in Somalia, the Democratic Republic of Congo, South Sudan, and Central Africa. This real-world exposure has shaped a force that is mobile, disciplined, and accustomed to asymmetric warfare. Uganda allocates a significant portion of its budget to security, prioritizing internal stability and regional influence. Kenya's armed forces, the Kenya Defense Forces, KDF, are slightly larger, with around 60,000 active personnel, and benefit from better equipment, logistics, and international partnerships. Kenya invests heavily in air power, naval capacity, and intelligence, particularly to secure its coastline and protect trade routes. The KDF also participates in peacekeeping missions, especially in Somalia under AMISOM and ATMIS. In essence, Uganda emphasizes combat experience and regional intervention, while Kenya focuses on modernization, technology, and strategic defense. One relies on toughness and battlefield exposure, the other on structure and global military integration. Infrastructure and transport. Infrastructure is where Kenya clearly outpaces Uganda. Kenya boasts a stronger road network, modern ports, and advanced airports. Nairobi's international airport handles millions of passengers annually, while the port of Mombasa serves as the gateway for multiple landlocked countries. The standard gauge railway linking Mombasa to Nairobi represents one of Africa's most ambitious transport projects. Uganda relies heavily on road transport, with most imports passing through Kenya. While road paving has improved, logistics remains slower and more expensive. That said, Uganda has made impressive progress in energy infrastructure, particularly hydroelectric power. Projects like the Karuma Dam could turn Uganda into a regional electricity exporter. Kenya leads in mobility. Uganda is catching up in power generation. Digital economy and technology. Kenya is Africa's undisputed mobile money and fintech leader. With mobile penetration nearing 90% and widespread internet access, Kenya's digital ecosystem supports startups, online services, and cashless payments. Platforms like mobile money process tens of billions of dollars annually, reshaping everyday life. Uganda's digital economy is growing, but still lags behind. Internet access and smartphone usage remain lower, particularly in rural areas, limiting digital inclusion. However, Uganda's young population represents massive untapped potential. As connectivity expands, digital services could scale rapidly, especially in education, finance, and agriculture. Kenya innovates first. Uganda follows, but with room to leapfrog.